Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to give an update today on how I'm traveling now that I'm 5 months and 10 days into only eating animal foods. I have added in the last month, squeeze of lemon juice, fresh lemon, into water. Probably twice a day I have a glass of water with that in. Just what my body needed. So I'm happy with that. But of course, everything I'm eating is still all high-fat animal foods. We've got a lot of hot weather coming up, hence the sarongs. It is incredibly hot right now. It's probably about 36 Celsius. I'm not quite sure what that Fahrenheit, but it's definitely over 100, around 100 degrees. So, yeah, and I wanted to see how you are all going with the meat prices currently, because it's pretty clear there is a meat war going on globally, particularly in the Western countries, and prices are definitely going up. I find a local butcher. I now shop at local butchers who get locally sourced meat, grass-fed meat, and steer away from the major supermarkets. Because, well, I actually had to buy some meat. I think it was about a week ago. And what I've noticed at the supermarkets, the supermarket meat, it doesn't seem to be as good as it used to. And of course, they're putting more fat into some of the cuts. And of course, people are being programmed not to have fat. So they're kind of steering away from that and going towards the lean meats. But I pick up the fatty ones, of course, if I do have to go to the supermarket. But for the most part, I shop from a local butcher. And people say to me, aren't you spending a lot more money now? And I say, no, and actually, in fact, I'm saving money. And I'm not eating as much as I was when I first started eating this way. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, I couldn't get enough, fat and meat into me, and I just went with that. But it seems to have gone hand in hand with the food prices, the meat prices. They've only just gone up recently, and alongside with my appetite or my desire for as much as I was having, and they were huge meals, that's decreased a bit. I think I've kind of come to a place now where, now that I'm cancer free, of just that seems to suit my body. Sometimes one meal, sometimes two, depends how I'm feeling. And the other day I actually bought some lamb's fried. That's what we in Australia call lamb's liver. And I haven't had organ meats for quite a while, but I had a desire for it, so that's how I kind of go. I go, okay, I wouldn't mind some of that, and I had some this morning, and I felt really good. So let me know how you are all navigating these price increases and how it's affecting you. And of course, we're going to see more of this war on meat escalate next year. They'll be slapping labels on and saying that it's a high carbon food, and it's creating climate change and all the rest. So we expect to see that, and probably expect to see it go up even more. So again, keep to the local people as much as you can. All right, so some of the wonderful things that are happening now that I'm noticing more is, and I mentioned that last time, the allergies to particularly the cat hair. Well, it's even go up even more as far as a resistance to any kind of pollens. Like I said, we're in summer here, and I'm around a couple of cats sometimes that are molting terribly. It doesn't have any effect on me. And dust doesn't affect me anymore. And more often than not, I would have an itchy throat probably a couple times a week before I started eating this way. It's totally disappeared. I'm just in awe. Along with that was some itchy ears and, all the allergy stuff that people just assume is normal. And of course, when I was vegan, I was having that as well. The itchy throat, the allergies to different pollens, and particularly cat hair, as I've mentioned before, animal hair. The other thing is, I think the main thing that I'm just blown out by is the stamina. I walk probably an hour most days up and down hills. I started this regime about 2 months ago, and I am blown out at my level of fitness. And people go, well, that just happens when you do that. But I can go back to when I was not eating all animal foods, and I certainly, this is before I had the cancer, by the way, I certainly didn't have this level of stamina. You know, I thought I was, I'd exercise, obviously. I used to go to the gym. But I didn't have the ability to do the amount of repetitions I can with things now. And the other thing was, when I did work out, a little bit of muscle, but nothing like what I've got now on my legs. Obviously walking up hills. It was so different with the plant-based diet. It was more like a fatty muscle. How can I explain? It was, now I've got actual muscle that protrudes out, and particularly on my thighs. So I think it's great. And I can power up these hills unbelievably. I'm in awe. I really am. And even better than it was, say, a month ago, I noticed a shift that kind of coincided with my lung capacity improving. So that's all wonderful. I mean, the thing is, these things are priceless as you get older. I can't tell you. It's just priceless. So that's increased. I've also noticed skin changes again. These things that we associate with aging, a lot of age spots and things, seem to be crusting over and dropping off. The other thing I've really noticed, I had a couple of ingrown hairs. I've had them for decades. And they'd sometimes get a blackhead on top of them that I kind of squeeze out, and then it would come back. Well, these things rose to the surface. The hair was very deeply under the surface of the dermal, the top layer of skin, and rose to the surface and literally popped out, and then the skin's healed over. I am like, whoa, this is incredible. And of course the teeth thing, I'm finding some things are happening with my teeth. Now, I don't brush my teeth as regularly. Well, I brush them, but it's not this vigorous cleaning like I used to do. I use a mixture of bicarb soda now and a little bit of peppermint oil. And frankly, that's about it. So not only aren't we getting the plaque like we used to, but I've noticed I had a couple of veneers that sort of cracked and broke and exposed a bit of a tooth underneath. This is kind of healing over. So that's quite miraculous to me. So, and I've heard other people say that they're not cleaning their teeth as frequently and as vigorously as they were before. They don't need to. So again, this is kind of dispelling so much of the stuff we've been told about dental hygiene and dental health, and we just eat meat and we don't have any of these problems. The other thing is my nails are very pink and a lot of great colour underneath. The actual nail is much smoother. Often people, when they age, their nails change, they get thinner, a little bit of ridges. And I did have those ridges, but they're now smoothing out more. So that's another wonderful thing. My taste, that's the other thing. My taste improved. My vision's really good. Just a great sense of well-being. And again, having that wonderful feeling of calm. And I'm able to implement more things into my life easily in changing my thought patterns. They seem to be a lot easier to do. I mean, I had knowledge about all these things years ago, how our thoughts influence not only our bodily health, but also, what shows up for us in our reality. And it seems to be so easier now to really override a lot of this thinking I used to have. So that's a very interesting thing. Anyway, I can't wait to see how much more improves and these little things, and I'm very observant because I do notice any kind of change and nuance. And again, the muscle tone's increasing too. So that's also wonderful. Don't have, a lot of the sagging skin that people get around my age. So what can I say? I'm just happy. I'm so grateful. I'm not just happy. I'm just so grateful that I was led back to this way of eating through a cancer diagnosis. It's been just the biggest gift. And really, when I think of people who might be a bit, debating kind of why I'm eating like this and trying to entice me with some other food, I think I'm not going to jeopardize having, this loss of stamina and vitality. It's just, there's nothing that can take that away now. So anyway, I just wanted to share that update with you and let me know how you are going with changes yourself, but also with the war on meat and how you're obtaining your meat and how that's all going. All right, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.